So yeah.
Sorry, there you go. Ooh, there you
Oh,
go.
oh, there we go. There we go. I'm not gonna play the game, but I think
What
Oh
I
game
can
yeah.
is
show. It is the making of Karateka. Um,
Karateka?
Listen, I will show you one of the things right now when you go to the very end, chapter 5, I do believe it is. Or was it chapter 4? They have a whole video about how to pronounce the game.
Amazing.
Uh, and it actually is whatever. Mechner says that some people call it karateka, some people call it
Mm,
karateka. Uh, in Japan, there would be no emphasis on anything, so it'd be uh, like karateka, but just like it's like
mhm,
karate, it's like
mhm.
that kind of thing. So yeah, there's a whole thing in there on this. So yeah, the making of Karateka is Digital Eclipse's first game in a brand new series that they're doing. Um, it's hyper focused on like a specific game, and so I don't know how familiar are you guys with this game to begin with.
I've played it back in the day,
Okay,
way back in the day.
what did you play it on?
Oh God, was it Commodore? I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Probably something like that. Yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't know, karateka or karateka, whatever, um, is the precursor to Prince of Persia. Um, Jordan Mechner uh, was hungry to make video games.
Speaking of hungry,
Yeah,
Taylor is
jeez, man,
chomping away.
ASMR right here.
You are
Uh,
welcome.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, this is the precursor to uh, not only Prince of Persia, but to what video games would become in the future,
Mm-hmm.
because this game was notable for being plotted like a movie, scored like a movie, and like having rotoscoping as its sort of animation function, um, which was all at the time sort of next level shit for a video game. Uh, and Dally, you've been playing it. I know the Atari
Yeah, I
50
cleared it.
set. Um, and
So
this,
good.
as you can see from here, it sort of follows the same format of that. You have different chapters depending on what era you want to look at. So chapter 1 starts off with like it takes a while till you actually get to a game you can play if you follow the storyline mode here. But
Mm-hmm.
it takes you to like from the beginning of Mechner as a kid. There's his Apple II. Here's him programming games. Here's him and his dad talking about asteroids. So what got Mechner into making games is that he loved asteroids and said, "I can make asteroids. All I need is a computer." And his dad gets a computer for him, and he starts working on games. And you can see here's him
Mm-hmm.
plotting out the visuals for asteroids and him trying to sell the game. So you get a little bit of everything in this. So uh, what you'll see here's a floppy disk for
Love it.
Asteroid Blaster. So you can play or watch. I'll just have it play for a second here. And so you can actually play through, as you can see here, this is his first game. This is him making asteroids on an Apple II. And this is fully playable
Amazing.
in the collection.
That is so cool.
And he tries selling it to Broderbund, obviously, because that's you get your typical filters. You get full
Mm-hmm.
wide, TV on or off. You can also go through different color palettes if you want monochrome and green, amber, white,
Oh,
or full
sweet.
color. And the border is just like what computer it's being run on. Yes, I want to quit. So it goes through the entire leading up to first chapters. Here's Star Blaster, which is like
Mm-hmm.
Broderbund told him to do some different stuff. Death Bounce was like his first real game. This was him trying to create a game that a company wanted him to make. They saw how good he was at making the Asteroids game, but they knew they couldn't do Asteroids and they needed to create something unique. So he ends up making this. Um, and you get to watch, this is the first prototype of it. And you get to watch this develop through all of his.
So you get to play.
Yeah.
So it's like playing
Yeah.
his developmental history.
Yeah.
Before
And the thing
then it gets to Karateka.
Yeah, and the thing that's cool about this is that Mechner, why it works so well for Karateka, is that Mechner kept sort of extensive journals and stuff too.
That's
like
cool.
you could buy
Good
his
for him.
journal
Yeah.
for this. So like here's the letter he wrote to Broderbund about it, and here's Broderbund replying back to him about like, oh hey, good job. Here's some things we would want to change, and like it's just filled, absolutely filled with the entire history of like, see, here's his journal right here. This is him deciding what game he wants to make next.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah, and also Deathbounds, which is the game that he never finished. Digital Eclipse made a finished version of Deathbounds that you can play.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Awesome. So this is like it, so they made it like a
cool.
twin stick shooter, and it's there. You go to the second chapter, and this is where you start to see it's starting to evolve, the karate game, and you see his journals and stuff, dev plan and animations and stuff. Yeah, it is so in depth. I'm trying to find the one thing that really I thought was absolutely insane. Oh, and he's got a graphic novel coming out that they tease every once in a while. That's sort of the history of him making games. So look out for that.
Okay.
Here's him using. Here's the Versa writer that he would use to draw the sprites in the fucking game, drawn by hand and get them digitized into his Apple II. I think it's the. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it.
So there are.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So here you go. See, it showed that he took it. He took footage of his dad wearing his mom's karate gi. And I mean, you can actually turn up and down. Here's the pencil.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. Here's the video footage, and you can change the transparency and watch the whole thing, or you can just shut off the transparency and sort of turn it on and off as you go. It is just so. Is this one? No, that's not it. It's oh, here you go. See, you can turn rough sprite layer, the sketch layer, so you can turn the sketch layer off and crank up the sprites, or you could just have it be all sprites and sketch layer.
Oh my lord!
It is, and here's everything. Here's your final sprite overlaid with the sketches. You know, it's the
so
amount
thorough.
The amount of thoroughness that is in this. And keep in mind, Francis Mechner is his dad, and his dad is the one that composed the music for the game. And it's funny. It's fun to have them talk about what it was like composing, because he was a piano player and would give like, oh no, you need to put it up like, you know, half a step or what. It's like, Dad, it is a, you know, an 8-bit computer. I can't, there's no pitch modulation. I can't do anything. You're going to have to decide, do you want this beep, or this beep? And just having them do that. His dad's absolutely fantastic in this. He's just a charming man, and they interview him all the time.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they have special guests in here. They have the founders of Broderbund, Tobias, Mortal Kombat, talks about it a lot in here. Gary Whitta talks a bit in here. They talk about sort of the importance of having it be a orchestrated game, plotted like a movie, and that they even say, like, the Broderbund people are like, it's easy to see it now, but Jordan just wanted creative control, but he didn't mind giving the power up to people. He realized it was a team that would make something like this, which is how games are made now, but back then they just simply weren't. So yeah, here's all the press release. Hey, there's a Commodore 64 right there. Look at that.
That's the one. That's it.
It's beautiful. And yeah, it shows different versions of it and how different ports. You can't play all of them. I'll take you to the game library. So at the end of the day, you get the Apple II version. you get the Commodore 64 version, and you get the Atari 8-bit version, which is sort of the holy trinity of these. There are dozens of other ports, but this is it. Mike, Micah or Mika?
Mika.
Digital Eclipse. I can never Micah. He made this version of Karateka.
Oh,
this is a remastered version of Karateka. Another cool thing that's cool about this one,
HD2D, baby. All right.
Yeah, another thing that's cool about this one is, oh damn it, I fucked it up. It has commentary.
Oh, sweet.
So you can commentary on. So you can play this with Mike's commentary of making this and how he made it.
Amazing.
And everything. And there's the Death Bounce remastered. Here's the first prototype of Death Bounce. Blah blah.
So it's got all the prototypes. It's got God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
This is
you get the original prototype of Karateka, the Apple II prototypes, and Star Blaster, which obviously was the other games that he was working on. But there was another really crazy thing in here that I never expected to see. I think it's towards the end here. There's the Amstrad version, which I absolutely do not remember. I just want to show one thing.
Sure.
It must be the next one over. Must be the one that's called 2. Because there was going to be a sequel, but it just ended up going into becoming Prince of Persia at the end.
I freaking love the journals. I love the...
Yeah.
I love, just those little scribble notes. You can flip through all of these. And the layout is great because it's all set up as like a timeline.
It's a timeline. It goes from A to B. Like, you got like a 5-page design document for what he thought Karateka 2's. There's the Xbox Live Arcade one.
Oh, yeah.
And it does, of course, end on...
You can't play that, can you?
No. It does end on a cliffhanger leading into Prince of Persia, but that's another story.
That's that's going to be a great one.
Yeah.
There's
I couldn't find it. They actually had an interesting thing in here that's super goofy. It has a fan film in here.
Oh, that's neat.
Based
awesome.
on
well, you don't have
to anyways, but yeah, it is so...
It's so thorough. It is. This is so we when I last week I talked about Atari 50 because I loved it so much from being a sort of they call this, I think this is the Gold Master series or whatever they're calling this thing.
Yeah.
It's educational, right? It's basically saying here is like the Atari 50 stuff was great because here's the history of Atari, and you could hand that to students who are studying things, who are studying game design, who are studying art design, like the stuff that I went into, and say, play this and I'll quiz you. But there's design documents in there. There's posters, there's games. Yeah. And this is the same way. This is definitely hyper focusing on one game, but I love that because for preservation purposes, it's awesome. You actually get this game.
It's
every version that's
it's the most anyone's ever done for like a commercial preservation of a game. Because they really went above and beyond to share a lot of stuff in this. Like here it is right here. This is the Karateka 2, Wrath of the Dude, which is just it's like when you think of it, like this is like machinima. This is a fan film made out of Karateka 2 where they overdid everything.
So cool.
Like, he is going to like everything's super over the top for this. And it's got a story that they're telling. And not only that, but if you notice in my little progress bar here, there is a commentary feature. It has the person that did this. It had their comment. It's fascinating, man. This package is absolutely perfect. I if we had a grading scale, I would give it a perfect score. Like it's you can't do better than this. Nobody's ever like this. The best they've gotten is the Atari 50 collection, and this surpasses it in every way.
You think so? Oh, just in the way that they present it, and like it's contiguous, and here's here's the step.
Here's the major problem I have with a lot of like the Atari collection and everything is at the end of the day, it is only preserving the positive history because they're really just giving you the best examples of what.
Here's everything that we did right that led to the Atari that you know, because it's the one that we chose.
Yeah.
As opposed to this.
Yeah, it's always going to be missing something. There's no matter what kind of collection you do, it's all the Rare Replay collection obviously has a great collection of games, but it's missing like half of their output because it's either Nintendo or licensed.
Sure.
One could argue that the Atari 50th collection is missing two of the most important games on the Atari 2600 of all time in E.T. and Pac-Man. I mean, and there's a reason why they're not there for various reasons. A, they're terrible and they're negative history, but they're history nonetheless.
Yep.
And they're licensed, like, for the most part, like, so I get it, but like this is one specific game and not everything in this is positive. Those prototypes are varying degrees of bad because they're early stages of games and stuff, but you get to watch the game progress. Hell, even Karateka itself as a 2023 game doesn't play well. It's very slow and cumbersome and stilted and goofy. But because of its importance to video games, this game created what video games become. It is a narrative-based story with music. I mean, like this game's 1984, like or 1983. Sure. I can't remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
how cool.
I think hyper focusing in on it is just super cool. I can't wait to see what like the next one is. And I hope it is just one game as well, because I think once you start adding, like if you did one for like Mega Man,
pick some of them,
and you
pick some of the most influential games that have ever been made, and
try to get the license companies to let. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, but there are plenty of them that exist out there that are, comparatively as unknown as Karateka is, because let's be honest, to probably the vast majority of modern day game players, this is, and find, those types of games and focus in on those. I mean, I guess Digital Extreme is still the license holder of
Eclipse.
Digital Eclipse is still the license holder of Karateka, right? I'm assuming.
I think Mechner might actually hold.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like it's just his thing, and they're just working with him. So,
well, yeah. I mean, that certainly makes it easier. I mean, the question is that like, but by the same token, a game like do this for Pitfall. That kind of, but like it's those kind of games, those first ones that change the way. God, imagine this, but for Rogue.
Dude,
right?
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
To be fair, that's completely like in the realm of reality, and a lot of
it is. If the information's out there,
I could see, like some of the early point and click adventure games being one that I think great. Monkey Island, the first game, I think one Sierra games, not in that same vein, but the old Ultima, the first Ultima,
dude,
that one would be an incredible version, or an incredible sort of thing to follow. Maniac Mansion or something like that would be fun.
Oh gosh! Man! Oh, dude, that would be Maniac Mansion. And the sequels and the spin-offs and all that kind of stuff. Day of the Tentacle, which is somehow became bigger.
But the reason why I think something
and
like
the TV
Ultima,
series.
I think the reason why something like Ultima would work so well, because you don't need the rest of them, because I mean it's such a big franchise that to show where it came from in a comprehensive way with whatever thing, because Ultima went on and just did its own thing. It sort of brought people into that genre of game. So I'm sure there's a lot of data. I mean, you have to have an old-timey veteran of the gaming that kept track of everything they did, and it seems like a lot of guys did.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of the early pioneers of gaming sort of kept their floppies and shit around and design documents and stuff.
I have all the old games that I designed somewhere. I gotta find them. Actually, I don't have them anymore. I don't think I do.
So yeah,
Man,
I'm excited to see what the next game is. This is on the short list of like my favorite game of the year.
It's only $20 too, which is just a killer deal.
Perfect. It's funny because like yeah. You're not going to get a lot of playtime out of this game, but you are just going to get it's a coffee table book on your computer.
It's a great way to put it.
That's a very good way to put
it. And you can just go back to it and flip through it and watch some of the footage and see some of the sprite work and its pencil work and the music and it's just perfect.
That is such a selling. Gosh, like I could see, this is like a Barnes and Noble thing. Like you could sell. I part of me also wishes like you literally have like a self-sufficient device that is just the Karateka device, like a small, like an LCD, like the $50 Nintendo little devices that they sent out, the Game & Watch. Make one of just Karateka with this on it and sell that. But yeah, no, this is, again, it's a history thing that Digital Eclipse has now, like, they've been doing it over the years, but man, have they perfected it right now. They've like totally perfected it.
It's not even like the bar is set anymore. Like nothing, if you're not doing this, then you're just a screen filter isn't enough anymore now, really. Like, so I just glow about this game. I love it.
Their most recent, like, from 2020 onward, actually 2018 onward, because they did the remember they did the Mega Man Legacy collection, they did the Disney Afternoon collection, which are really cool.
Collection. Yeah, they did. I think they did the
Street Fighter. That to me, once I got my hands on the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary collection and played through that, I thought, wow, this is really great for game preservation, because it was more than just the games. There were actually like some sketches and like some stuff you can unlock and everything. They did the SNK 40th, which was really cool. And then from that point on, it's like they did the Blizzard one. They did they actually did a Disney Classic Games collection.
Yes.
Which people don't even they did the TMNT one last year, which was like that set the bar. They did the TMNT and the Atari 50 in the same year, like 3 months.
Yeah,
and those are pretty amazing. So keep it going. Awesome, very cool, very cool. Well,